How do you sort of rationalise or explain what went wrong for you guys in the second half?
Yeah, look, it's been a bit of a trend, hasn't it? I mean, unfortunately, the second half was poor. We were just too easy. They scored a lot of their score came out of our front half. They were able to get the ball through the corridor, and their efficiency was really strong. I mean, at half time things were looking pretty good. We probably didn't take our opportunities in the first half, but then the second half that flipped on its head, and I think in the second half they kicked nearly 7 or 8 of their goals out of our front half, which is never going to it's going to just put your backs under too much pressure.
So how frustrating is that, the difference between the good of the first half and the...
Yeah, and that's something we need to work on. Obviously, clearly our consistency. Our footy's good enough, but our consistency and our ability to do it for longer against good opposition is just not the level, which is why we sit where we sit. We sit where we are on the ladder on the basis that we haven't been able to consistently do that against opposition, and we've got some work to do.
You talk about a trend on, obviously, the third time for the season you've really been overrun here. Does it call into question the character of the group, and when the going gets tough, that they're not able to arrest that slide and teams are overrunning it?
That's something we need to look at. It's probably whether it's a capacity thing or but again, just our ability to sustain for longer. As I said, we're doing a lot right in the first half, but we didn't sort of find our way in the last quarter, in the last half, and we conceded easy goals.
Speed on the outside again, a bit of an issue, did you feel?
Well, we keep working on the balance and blend of the group. As I said, at half time we wouldn't have been saying there was an issue. We saw some real positives from Brodie and Wayne and Riley Knight in there. But once again, we couldn't do it for longer. And the other thing is our ability to execute some of our fundamentals were just nowhere near the level. We missed too many tackles, which created opportunities. We overran ground balls, which create opportunities for them. And then when the ball's left behind, or you cough it up around a stoppage or a contest situation, and credit to Essendon for the pressure they put on. But when you do that, you do leave yourself exposed in the ground to defend it, and that's what happened a number of times. And again, those are things within our control.
You would have thought you'd be able to capitalise on the ruck dominance, I guess. One area of the game, you win clearances by a heap, but unable to transfer that.
Yeah, well, we weren't able to keep that field position. I mean, we won the clearances really quite comfortably, but when the ball went forward, once again, we weren't able to sustain pressure on that ball in the next phase to keep it in our front half consistently. And as I said, they were able to transition the ball from one end to the other. I think they kicked, of their 15 goals, I think they kicked 13 out of our back half, either through clearance or transition. That's just way too high a number. So we'll have a look at that and we'll review that and we'll see exactly what the breakdown is and what we need to do to rectify it, because it's not sustainable to play that way and try and win games of footy.
How does that happen, I suppose? We keep hearing talk of the modern game. It's so much more difficult now to get goals from the opposition front half. How did that happen tonight? They were able to transition.
I think it was probably those moments I spoke about. We might get the ball forward and we come in and we either miss a tackle or they flip a handball or we fumble the ground ball, or we get out and we lose a bit of balance on the outside, and then you're chasing and that leaves the defenders exposed. So we need to look at what is our system, whether it's a system thing, whether it's whether it's just those fundamentals I'm talking about. I'm sure it'll be on review. It'll be a combination of both, I would think.
Does that mean you've got the forward mix right in terms of like the tackling pressure and the ability to lock the ball into your forward half?
Yeah, and it's something we're always looking at. I mean, obviously with Wayne and Brodie down there playing, Brodie obviously hit the scoreboard tonight. Something we continue to monitor and assess and make sure that we've got the ability of guys who not only can win their own ball but can keep pressure on it. So we'll have a look at that.
Taylor Walker's elbow, is that an ongoing concern for you?
Yeah, well, obviously he re-sprained it tonight early. He was able to come back on and play at the game. So, look, I think it was something we'll have to manage, but I suspect he'll be fine.
Okay. And the story behind Brodie Smith's jumper tonight? Change of number?
The change of number? Yeah, I don't think his jumper arrived at the ground. I think that's what happened. That's as far as I know, yeah. So for some reason it wasn't here, so he had to wear Richard Douglas's jumper for the first half and then it arrived in the second half. So anyway.
Don, Alex Keith looked like he was hobbling a bit there, maybe in the third quarter, I think it was.
Yeah, I think he got just a bit of a knock on his knee.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't think it was anything serious. He was able to finish the game out. So yeah, we're pretty confident he'll be all right.
Where do you go now, Don? Especially the next couple of weeks. 4 weeks ago, obviously in the home and away season. Where do you go to make changes?
Well, we've got to look at exactly what's going to give us the best blend and mix to play against and beat Carlton next week. I mean, the reality is for us to play finals, we've got to win games of footy. There's no point talking about it. You actually got to go and do it and action it. So we'll have a look at what the best blended mix is. Obviously, we go to the MCG next week, and against a side who's playing some good footy and good form, and we've got to be able to do it for 4 quarters. As you saw in the first half, and we were able and capable, but we need to do it for longer. And at the moment, that's our challenge.
Did last week cover over a few things?
Well, last week we saw some positive signs in some areas, but again, tonight we play better quality opposition who've got a lot to play for, and at the end of it, they worked harder and wanted it more, and that's the reality. That's what the scoreboard reflected at the end, and we need to have a good look and try and change some things up.
Well, I think it's 17 goals to 4 in your last 2 second halves. And obviously this game and the Port Adelaide game in the past 2 games at Adelaide Oval. Is it fitness? Is it mentality? Is it just not being able to arrest that slide when it's tough gets
I think
going?
it's just worrying, to be honest. But that's that's something we'll get to the bottom of in terms of exactly what it is, and it's probably a combination of those things, as well as again being able to maintain or get scoreboard pressure on when you have your opportunity. Like we accept in the modern game there's going to be ebbs and flows, but when the flow goes against us, we have to arrest it quicker, and we've got to be able to turn that around and get ourselves back in a position where we can win games of footy, which at the moment we haven't been able to do.